Welcome to today's SheepConnect 10-minute talk. I'm Jodie Rosé-O'Brien, part of the SheepConnect team. Today we're at Wonga Station and we're discussing getting the best results from preg scanning with Josh Cousins from Merino Services.
I'm Josh Cousins from Merino Services, based in Burra, in mid-north of South Australia. And today we're going to talk about how to get the best results from pregnancy scanning. So pregnancy scanning is a pretty simple process. It's much like a weigh crate at the end of a draft. So you just bring the ewes up the draft and come into the scanning crate, where you have a scanner that'll use an ultrasound, much the same as on humans. They'll detect how many fetal numbers are in there, whether she's pregnant or dry, and then be able to draft or mark out according. Prior to scanning, it's important to ring up your scanner and book in the correct time, because if you have incorrect dates, it doesn't matter how experienced your scanner is, they won't be able to be completely accurate. So you need 40 days from ram removal to make sure you capture all the pregnancies, because you need 40 days for that fetus to be large enough to detect on the ultrasound. But when for scanning for multiples, you need to scan from 80 to 90 days from when the rams have entered. Once the fetus gets too big, it will take up too much of the screen and there's just too much going on, so the scanner will be unable to detect multiple fetuses accurately. So as I'm scanning, starting from the back of the uterus, it starts to open up. There's a head there, come through body. There's another body there, coming through the head. Keep scrolling through, there's another body there, and closing the uterus. So she has 3 lambs. For an extended joining, which is over 7 or 8 weeks, it may be required to do a second scanning to make sure you capture all pregnancies accurately. It is important to have the ewes off feed and water for at least 6 hours prior to scanning. A full ruminant or bladder can push the pregnancy around, making it a lot more complicated for the scanner. If you're scanning in the morning, you need to have the ewes off water overnight, or if you're scanning in the afternoon, you may be required just to have the ewes in that morning prior to scanning. An experienced scanner can scan up to 400 or 500 an hour, but this will depend on dates and easy flowing of the sheep. A good setup and easy flow sheep will make it easier for the sheep to flow through. They'll be more calm and the scanner will be able to detect the fetuses more accurately and quicker. So we're currently out east of Burra, in between Burra and Morgan. We're currently conducting our annual scanner training. As you can see, we have 2 crates going, but the principles of flowing the sheep through into a narrow race leading up to the pregnancy scanning, that way it keeps a steady movement of sheep and they can't turn around. Fortunately today we're in the shearing shed, so it's all undercover. Most scanners will have their own type of shelter, which will help get rid of the shadows and stop the shadowing on the screen, so you'll be able to see the screen a bit easier. As we're currently at our scanning training, there's quite a few people pushing up here, but it is required to have at least 2 people, one at the back keeping them up, and then someone up the side next to the scanning cradle, just ensuring they're moving steadily into the crate. So having someone standing behind the scanner, just assisting with this next sheep going in, can really increase the speed and the accuracy of the scanner, as they'll be coming in nice and steady, and there'll be less stress on the scanner and you'll be able to get an easy scan through the uterus. There's a number of different ways you can set up. Most scanning crates, the scanner will be sitting on the left-hand side, so you'll come out the left-hand side of the draft. Scanning crates are fairly adaptable, so they can either slot straight in at the end of a drafting race, or they can come off to the side. Most scanning crates will have a 3-way draft at the end of it, so it may be required to have some portable panels to be able to split in 3 ways. So as you can see here, the sheep is drafted out the front. So she doesn't have a pregnancy detectable. So this one here, she's obviously doesn't have a pregnancy detectable either. As this one comes through, as the scanner selects as a single, she'll go straight ahead. And the next one can come straight in. It is beneficial if you can use the draft that the scanner provides, as it will allow the sheep to flow through smoothly, which will cause less stress on the scanner and it will get the job done quicker. It is not always possible to use the draft. In this instance, you may mark the smaller group. We recommend using dry rattle, as the gas from the spray cans can affect the scanner's health. If it's dusty yards, it may be required to water down the race, because this will stop most of the dust, especially where it circulates at the drafting race. And if your scanner can see the screen clearly, you'll be able to do a better job. Other things that can affect scanning accuracy is flighty sheep and fat animals. If a sheep's jumping around in the scanning crate, the scanner's going to find it very hard to scan the ewe accurately. Fat animals over a condition score 4 will increase the difficulty of scanning, as the scanner will not be able to get a full scroll through of the uterus, and you may miss 1 or 2 twins in the singles. General rule of thumb for scanning is all your twins will be scanned as a twin, as you need to see 2 fetuses to put in with the twin mob. But you may miss a few twins in the singles, as you can only count 1 lamb, but there may be a second lamb hiding behind it. It is possible to miss a few pregnancies, mostly due to the fetus not being developed enough, or if the fetus is quite well developed and she's close to lambing, it is possible to miss one then too. The detection of most pregnancies is highly accurate, depending on dates. As long as the fetus is showing, most pregnancies will be detected. It is possible to miss a few. This is mostly in young ewes where they are hiding a late pregnancy, or ewes that are heavily pregnant and there's too much fluid inside of them and you cannot detect the fetus.
Thanks Josh for sharing your time and expertise with us. SheepConnect is funded by Australian Wool Innovation, South Australian Sheep Industry Fund and the Department of Primary Industries and Regions. For more information, go to the SheepConnect website or follow us on Twitter.